I'm Shinali. Welcome to my corner of the internet. 9 o'clock right now. I'm done with my chores. The thing is, I recently shared a video on tackling my current reading situation, and it was a short format. So, you know how it is. You have to write those points, those bullets, and express it in a short version. After recording it, editing, and everything, somewhere, I was not convinced that I've shared my whole honest thoughts about those books that I have felt or experienced reading those books. So I thought, why not, record in a long format, because I love talking about books and I love sharing my thoughts about those books and the names of the books in this notepad. So I'll cover one by one, and I'll mention the name of the books in the description of this video. In this video, I'll be covering the books that I read in March. First is Parents Started Ching. I don't recommend this book much. I think I shared the story behind me finding this book, which is I saw Alia Bhatt's segment of Get Ready With Me, where she mentions this book while she's getting ready for an event kind of research, and I saw Oprah also talking about it, and she recommends gifting this book to the parents. I also feel the same. It's a poetic form. It's not something that you have to sit and analyze and probably write notes on the sideline, research over here. No, nothing. Other than simple plain languages and poetic style, it's a rendering of the wisdom of the Tao. It's pretty basic, it's pretty ordinary. It celebrates the energy, the Tao that flows through us. So there's nothing complex around it. It's something that is natural to us. And when something's that so natural, you don't have to fight it. Or this world where everything has to move fast, in this world of there's noise everywhere, we have lost touch with that part of us where we also crave quietness, where we also crave for grounding. This book reminds that. This book reminds the parents to be a keen observer of your child, and also every moment and every situation is not about teaching the child, it's also about learning and growing with them. These are those little moments which, when you look back, you think of these were the moments where those bonds were formed, which is us parents to lean and gravitate towards that natural parental instinct that we have already, to again touch base with that. Second one in the list is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. The last year I read Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, and I was totally consumed by it. I mean, I remember at the time that was the only book I was reading, which usually does not happen. Being a mood reader, or sometimes even due to some weather or something, I kind of a new book or maybe reread another book at the same timeline. So it's always 2-3 books that goes in parallel. So when I started Anna Karenina, I started reading on Kindle because I love reading before I hit bed. So I was searching for a book and I thought, let's start with classic literature. And gosh, what a good decision. And I started then, but I soon realized I need a book for this because I love annotating, I love underlining or maybe writing those codes. I was in the world of Anna Karenina's, the diverse social group that the author explores. That era and time, the woman, the pain points of there is not that in contrast with what the woman of this generation, of this world also goes through. Beautiful narration of those exploration, that when woman thinks for herself, how things starts to fall around her and how slowly she's aloof from that big unit that she was once part of. Simple writing, I won't say that it was too complex for me to comprehend or it was super saturated text. No, nothing like that. It was easy to understand. The flow was easy. The character detailing was marvelous. So finished reading that, I thought, I'm not gonna pick up any Leo Tolstoy's book in the near future. At least I'll take a good long break and then probably think about it. But I don't know, I'm waiting for some more depth or some more layers of emotions to be felt. Not sure of that, but I really wanted to read more of Leo Tolstoy's. And then War and Peace surfaced on my Explore page. Like, the creators were talking about that, someone was rereading it, someone was reading for the first time. I thought, let's pick it up. It's an art in the form of book. I mean, such grip on writing, such character detailing. I had already read about the character detailing in the Anna Karenina, but I thought this would be somewhat different and it would be more on the history side and not on the family, family dynamics or social groups. But I was wrong. Thank God I was wrong. Delivered more than I imagined and more than I expected. Of course, Leo Tolstoy. Initially, you would feel exploring more of the history. I loved reading anything about history. I mean, if it's history class, I would be like, oh my God, I have to mug up so many dates, then follow the timelines. I've always found history class a tedious class and somewhat boring as well. This I thought let's be brave. So I thought let's see how it goes for me. And I was determined that I will finish reading this book because I think that reading that book was also a part of self-accomplishment for me. Also, it became my true escape from my regular mother routines or any house chores that I have to do. So, setting is the time when the Russia was in war with Napoleon, and the and Leo Tolstoy has taken that as the foundation, and on that he has layered the family dynamics and a romantic trio around it. And in a structured and strategical way, Leo Tolstoy has woven a story with tight grip on all his characters. The book has three parts. It has and comprises of somewhat 1400 pages. But once you start reading, I think these pages will fly by and you won't even notice the crazy size of it. First part is easy to read. I mean, before you know it, this one family introduction has already been done. Second part is where I felt the feeling of distraught. Where I even wrote on the end of that part. I really felt for the soldiers who died. I really felt for the families. To read that war scenes from not from a history lens, from a lens of humanity. Even the soldiers who go, they are someone's brother, someone's husband. They also have someone to come back to, and it also explores what if they don't. Also dwells on that. With that, it also focuses on this romantic trio. I was really hoping. I mean, at some point when Arya and Natasha were like longing for each other and they were about to meet and something great was to happen because the entire build-up was towards it, and then suddenly something happens. Someone loses patience, and the story takes a different turn. I mean, oh, I mean, I felt that I was really rooting for them to meet, and someone who is exploring literature or intense emotional classic literature to pick this book. On reading that, you would know why this is one of the epics. The list is Metamorphosis. This was by Franz Kafka. Remember, I was not able to articulate what I felt on reading this. I mean, as soon as I started, it starts with George Samsa, waking up from his sleep. To his surprise, seeing himself transformed into a monstrous insect. I mean, felt like this is the end and this is the beginning at the same in the same line. The afterthought has not formed concretely after I had done reading this. I remember writing it, scribbling about it, and so many thoughts were there. But overall, I felt like this book, at least once, somewhat complex emotions in you, they will kind of surface. I remember I felt rage, I felt happy, I felt sad, all at the same time, in the span of 2-3 pages. Which I read, Heart the Lover by Lily King. This was, I think it was a very influential explore page. It was filled with Heart the Lover recommendations. This book reminded of my college days. Some days, the sharing, the roommate days where you share not just food, not just clothes, but things or what is going on in your mind. I did start my reading journey with romance, but I very quickly realized that romance is not something that I can stomach it. I mean, those flirtatious dialogues, I find it cringy. So picking this book came with a lot of inhibitions around it. That I also finished reading War and Peace, Metamorphosis. Picking this book actually had to keep a high bar to even for me to finish it. First win with this book is that I picked it up and I finished it. The story follows this girl, the narrator, who very slowly realizes that she is being pretty tangled in this trio, also between two friends, two golden boys that they are considered in the college. Explores her love interest. Also a journey where she feels that she's truly lost and how she again, her center, finds her focus to get back to. And the reflections that she had in between the chapters and the pages. Very coming of age, literary fiction as well. So I think that part really made reading easy for me. Those are my long format thoughts on the books that I finished reading in the month of March. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. See you in the next one. Bye bye.